Police officers and their dogs are coming from around the state to compete in a unique Arizona contest. We'll tell you more. Plus, young people get a chance to show off during Deer Valley Days. These stories and more next on The Issues. Watch us. Welcome to On the Issues. I'm Paula Moore. Phoenix Police K-9 competitions are set to begin, and it's not too late for teams to enter. Vice Mayor Dave Siebert joins our show along with Officer Tim Norton and Axel to tell us about this special competition. Now, this is something that's kind of new for us.
It's new for Phoenix. Wonderful program, the chance to show off our animals and the chance for police and military agencies to show off their animals in competitions against each other. So it's, I think it's a unique opportunity, and I certainly want to thank Officer Tim Norton for being here today to show us Axel, beautiful animal, a 3.5-year-old animal. Where's he from?
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia. You know, we talked about this once before, $5,000 dog, and that's without training. And I think it's a neat opportunity for the public to come out and see these animals at work.
Officer, what will we see at this competition?
Oh, what the public would see is how we train our dogs to area search, handler protection. We would be doing obstacle courses, tactical obedience, regular obedience. Then we would have a building search competition that the public would not be able to see, but those 5 events. And it's very interesting, the scenarios that would be set up for the event.
And what are you hoping to accomplish through this competition?
Well, I think it would give the citizens a good idea of how police dogs are used, give them an idea of the training that's involved with one of the animals. We would be able to communicate with other handlers throughout the state and other states that come to attend to get training ideas, exchange training ideas with each other.
Okay. Now, can Axel do anything for us? Can you have him do something? We have a small area, but can he stand up or?
Axel, sit.
Very good. Very good. And now Axel's resting, huh?
Long night last night. Axel's competed in several other trials as well, so he'll be competing in this one along with another Phoenix dog.
Okay, now will dogs be coming from all around the state to take part in this, or is this just something for Phoenix?
Yes, we have Phoenix, Scottsdale Sheriff's Department, Tucson, Pima County Sheriffs, Air Force, INS, Goodyear, Avondale, all around the surrounding areas.
Vice Mayor, what about the importance of dogs in police work? I know that's something that we've talked about before, and it's something that you're very interested in.
I don't think that we could provide an adequate service to the public without them, whether it be for the officer's protection or sending a dog in, you know, when it may be too dangerous for an officer, protecting the public on searches for felons. The apprehension rate that they have is so high. Just everything about them. They're well worth the money. They are expensive. And I think this is an opportunity for the people to go down on the 18th and 19th, Saturday and Sunday at Thunderbird High School, at the football arena, and watch these dogs in action and see how they actually do get their money's worth, and to watch not only the Phoenix dogs and come down and root for the home team, but to see the other animals as well. And it's a $1 donation that will go to the Humane Society, and that's $1 per adult. And I think it would be just a wonderful opportunity for people to come down and see the dogs in action.
Okay. Now, what about the kind of training that goes into these animals? Can you tell us a little bit about how intense that is?
Sure. Before they even hit the street on patrol use, they have to go through a minimum of 480 hours of basic training. You start from the basic obedience, from sit, down, heel, and stay, to advanced obedience, where you do things from a distance. Then you work into area searches and building searches and fence yard searches and the handler protection portion.
Okay. And what about the intensity of you working with your animal? Is it just one officer with
Yes.
an individual dog?
Axel's been with me now for a year and a half. He goes home with me, and I spend 7 days a week with him. He's with me all the time.
Okay. And how tough is it? How hard is it to train an animal?
A lot of time. A lot of time consuming. You need patience. Some dogs have problems in some areas that you need to go back over and over again until the dog feels comfortable in doing it, and you have to have patience with them.
Okay, now is this something that you've always been interested in? Is this an area of police work that you've always been interested in, or is it something new?
When I first came on the department, one of my first calls was with a canine unit, and from that point on, I said that's what I want to do. It took me 9 years to get there, but I've got there.
Okay. And how will Axel do in this competition?
Well, I'm hoping he does real well, especially in front of the hometown crowd.
I mean, is he one of the prize dogs?
Well, we just competed in Yuma last month, and we brought a first place and a second place trophy back.
That's great.
So we're hoping he does just as well, if not better, here.
Okay. How many actual dogs will be competing from this area, from Phoenix Police
2.
Department?
Phoenix,
Just 2?
2 from Phoenix Police Department.
Okay, now who's the other dog?
Paul Hubert and Ranger, and myself and Axel.
Okay, great. Vice Mayor, do you think that competitions like this are a good way also for the community to get firsthand look at these animals?
Yes, I think it's good for the community to get firsthand knowledge, but I think it's also important to see how we fare with the rest of the departments in their use of canines. It'd be nice to see how our training and how our program is working. And so I'm sort of excited to see, you know, if they place first, be more than happy. But I tell you what, you know, I had the chance to spend a little bit of time with Axel here before the show, and you talk about such a mild-mannered dog, very friendly. You know, you can tell kids could come up and play with the dog, and it's very gentle, very well behaved, and I think that's just a perfect animal. And when you look at some of the programs, some of the dogs that we've had in training before, you know, we talk about how much money, how much time. Some of the dogs don't make it and get washed out of the program. And so I can see, from my perspective, how much dedication it takes for the officers, especially as they go to change a dog, put a lot of time and effort. It doesn't work, and they have to start over again. And I know it really has to be frustrating, and I want to thank all of the people that work for the Phoenix Police Department and the Canine unit, because it does take a tremendous amount of dedication.
Okay. Now, tell me something. A lot of people, when they see police dogs, they automatically think that they're ferocious, that they're mean, that they're
Yes.
bad dogs like that,
Yes.
that they're out to get the person. What about that perception?
People see, most of the time, they see them in our cars, and then they want to know why they always bark when people come up to the car and think, well, that's their home, and they just being protective of their home. But if we're out in the street and if people ask if we can pet our dogs or something like that, then they'll be able to tell how really relaxed and mellow they really can be.
Okay, and is that something that you do frequently with the community?
Oh, sure.
You let children and adults?
We've been to schools, we've been to different group organizations and talked about the use of canines and how what our duties are, and he runs through the crowd and people pet him and play with him, and he likes it.
Great.
But he knows when it's time to go to work.
Okay. And he just, because you're his handler, he knows, he takes the command from you?
Yes.
Okay.
When I tell him it's time to go to work, he knows it's time to go to work. No more fooling around.
Uh-huh. And that would be like maybe to find someone in a building or something?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you get Axel to walk in a circle or do something else?
Sure.
Okay.
Axel.
We can just see.
Here. Come on. Oh, boy. Sit. People see you.
That's wonderful.
I know. You good
That's
boy.
great. Now, how many hours again did you say you've spent?
480 basic.
And how old is Axel?
He's 3.5.
Okay.
So I hope to have him for about 5 more years.
Now, is that training ongoing then? You just
Yes, we
continue
have
to-
once a week remedial training where all the dogs, we set up a different training scenario all week. I'm sorry, every week, and just to keep their skills up on different areas, and
And
just
that-
helps them out, just keep them on their toes.
Okay. Are there ever situations where you're afraid to send the dogs in because of the harm that could come to the animal?
I don't think, if you ask that question to any handler, I don't think any handler would say yeah or no, I'm sorry. There are times where I regret sending him in, but I know that's his job, and don't want to see another officer get hurt.
Just because someone might retaliate
Correct.
against the animal.
Right. The dogs inside the building, they have a faster way of finding somebody than myself or another officer. Their keen sense of smell, hearing, they were able to detect somebody hiding faster than we might be able to.
And I know in lots of movies you see dogs that are used to track down out in the wooded areas.
Yes.
Is he used for that?
We don't train our dogs to track. We
Okay.
train our dogs to go by air scent, and that's how because most of our work are inside buildings and things like that, where tracking wouldn't really come to good use. So we train them to go off air scent.
Now, officer, are more and more dogs being used in police work?
We're finding across the country, yes, and more departments are going towards dogs, yes,
Okay,
for safety issues.
for safety to the officers?
Officer safety, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Vice Mayor, is that what you're finding too?
Yes, it is, and I think we have a wonderful program. Certainly like to see it expanded as funds become available. But then again, understanding how much time and effort and money it does take. Each one of these dogs is about $5,000. And these trials are so important, I feel, for the officers to get a chance to show not only what they've accomplished, but again, as I said earlier, to see how their dogs fare against all the rest of them. And I would like to thank Circle K and PetSmart for helping to sponsor these canine trials. And it's nice to see, again, corporate sponsors coming out and saying this is important for our community. And again, I think it's going to be a wonderful event. So I encourage the public, if you want to see these beautiful animals, you know, come on out. I think it's 9 to 4 on Saturday, and I believe it's 9 to 3 on Sunday.
Okay,
And
and that's
it's-
April,
And that's April 18th and 19th.
okay? Thunderbird High School.
Thunderbird High School.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, Axel, for joining us, and also Officer and Vice Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.